Okay, guys, so for number one under rotations of 180 degrees, hopefully this is what you got. Remember, I just got the order pairs and then just switched the signs in front of them. So negative 2, 2 became 2, negative 2. So if there's D prime. You can see that there's a straight line going in between those two. D, we already talked about that one. R, if I look at R, it was negative 3, negative 3. Now it's 3, 3. So here is what R is right there. Okay. All right, so now if I look at D, D was at 2, 3. Now it became negative 2, negative 3. I can see how there's a straight line right there. V was at 3, 0, became negative 3, 0. It's a straight line across. 1, 2 got me negative 1, negative 2. So let's jump into another type. This is rotating something 90 degrees clockwise. It's very similar to what you guys were doing before. The same basic ideas. So the first thing that we're going to do is identify the order pairs for my pre-image. So I have S, I have H, and I have J. So I'm writing down what those order pairs are. So S looks like it was 1, 1. H is at 4, 2. And then J looks like it's at 4. And then it looks like it's at 5. So I'm going to perform the following transformation in which it's y negative x. Y negative x. So what happens is for S prime, so automatically for each of these, what happens is the y value from my original or my pre-image becomes my x value. So right now, because the x value was 1, I'm going to write down 1. Because the y value was 2, that's going to become my new x value. And then for j, my new x value is going to be 5. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is my y value, I'm going to write that down. My new y value is going to be my x. But what I'm going to do is put a negative in front of it. So I'm switching the x and the y's. So what was my y became my x. So my y's became my x's. Okay? And then my x's became my y's, but I put a negative sign in front of them. Okay? So what happens is s is 1, negative 1. So that's s prime. H is 2, negative 4. And then I have a point at 5, negative. Okay? So if I look at this, guys, I can make a right angle. It doesn't look like it because my line is a little skewed. I had to make it a little bit bigger. But there's a right angle that exists between the origin and S prime. I could do the same thing between H and H prime. That makes a right angle. The same thing happens with J and J prime. What I'm going to ask you guys to do is I want you to try the next couple for me, and then I will show you guys the answers to those in a second.